Imagine, it's 2 a.m. You're asleep in your own home. Your doors are locked. Your windows are secured. Your neighborhood is quiet. Everything feels safe. But someone is already inside, standing in the darkness, watching, waiting. He knows your routine. He knows where you sleep. And before the night is over, your life will never be the same again. For more than 40 years, this monster escaped justice. He committed dozens of violent crimes across California, left entire communities living in fear, and somehow vanished without a trace, until a revolutionary breakthrough finally revealed the face behind one of America's most terrifying criminal mysteries. This is the story of the Golden State Killer. Some criminals leave behind a trail of evidence. Others leave behind witnesses, but a few leave behind something far worse: fear. The Golden State Killer wasn't just a criminal. He was a nightmare, a predator who invaded homes, destroyed lives, and haunted California for decades. Long before police knew his identity, people already feared his return. Every night, every strange sound, every creak in the floorboards became a reminder that he could strike again. The story begins in the mid-1970s. Sacramento, California, a growing suburban community where families believed they were living the American dream. Safe neighborhoods, good schools, quiet streets. But in 1976, something strange began happening. Residents reported break-ins. Small items disappeared. Personal belongings were moved. Drawers were opened. Rooms appeared disturbed. Sometimes nothing valuable was stolen. Police initially believed they were dealing with a burglar. But this wasn't ordinary burglary. The intruder wasn't searching for valuables. He was studying people, learning routines, testing security, preparing for something much darker. Soon, the crimes changed. Women living alone became targets. Late at night, a masked intruder entered homes. Silently, carefully, methodically, victims described an attacker who seemed calm and organized. Someone who planned every move. Someone who appeared to enjoy control. The attacks terrified the region. News spread quickly. Fear spread even faster. Women stopped living alone. People installed stronger locks. Neighborhood watch groups formed. Residents purchased dogs and security systems. Yet despite all these precautions, the attacks continued. Again, and again, and again. Police launched major investigations. Hundreds of officers worked the case. Roadblocks were established. Stakeouts were organized. Special task forces were created. Still, the attacker remained free. Witnesses occasionally caught glimpses of him. A shadow running through backyards. A figure disappearing into darkness. But nobody could identify him. Many investigators believed he had military training. Others thought he might be a police officer. His behavior suggested discipline, planning, and knowledge of law enforcement tactics. He seemed to know exactly how investigations worked, and exactly how to avoid them. By the late 1970s, the attacks spread beyond Sacramento. The offender moved across California, and his crimes became even more violent. Couples were now targeted. Entire households became victims. The stakes were escalating. The danger was growing. Investigators who once believed they were hunting a serial offender now feared they were chasing something even worse. A serial killer. As years passed, more victims emerged. More crime scenes appeared. More lives were shattered. And yet, the attacker continued escaping. Then something unexpected happened. The crime stopped. Suddenly, without warning. No more attacks. No more break-ins. No more sightings. The predator vanished. Pause. Police were left with questions. Had he died? Moved away? Been arrested under another identity? Nobody knew. Years turned into decades. The mystery deepened. The case became one of the most infamous unsolved investigations in American history. And eventually, many people believed the killer would never be identified. But technology never stops advancing, and neither did the search for answers. During the 1990s and early 2000s, DNA science improved dramatically. Investigators revisited old evidence that had been sitting untouched for years. Laboratories began making connections. Separate crimes once believed unrelated were actually connected. The East Area Rapist. The original Night Stalker. Multiple unsolved attacks. All linked to one individual. One criminal. One monster. A new name was created. The Golden State Killer. Even with DNA evidence, investigators still faced a major problem. They had the killer's genetic profile, but they didn't know who he was. The DNA existed. The name did not. Then came a revolutionary idea: genetic genealogy. Instead of searching directly for the suspect, investigators searched for relatives, distant cousins, family connections, shared ancestors. Slowly, a family tree began to emerge. Experts spent months studying records, marriage documents, birth certificates, historical archives. Thousands of names were analyzed. The list became smaller and smaller until one man stood out: Joseph James DeAngelo. The possibility shocked investigators. DeAngelo had once worked as a police officer, a man sworn to uphold the law. Could he really be responsible? Investigators needed certainty, not assumptions. So surveillance teams began watching him. Quietly, patiently, they collected DNA from items he discarded. The samples were tested, compared, verified, and the results were unmistakable. After more than 40 years, they had finally found him. The Golden State Killer had a name, and he was still alive. April 24, 2018. Police moved in. The arrest stunned the nation. News outlets around the world covered the story. For decades, the case had seemed impossible to solve. Yet there he was, a 72-year-old man living an ordinary suburban life. Neighbors couldn't believe it. Friends were shocked. To many people, he looked completely normal. But investigators believed the mystery was finally over. For survivors, the arrest was emotional. Some had waited 40 years for answers. 40 years of uncertainty. 40 years of fear. Now, they finally knew who had terrorized their lives. Court proceedings followed. Victims shared their stories. Families spoke about loss. And one of America's longest-running manhunts finally reached its conclusion. The story of the Golden State Killer is not just the story of a criminal. It's the story of persistence, of investigators who refuse to give up, of survivors who refuse to be forgotten, and of how science changed criminal investigations forever. For more than 40 years, a monster believed he had escaped justice. He believed time would protect him. He believed the truth would stay buried. But eventually, the evidence spoke. The mystery ended. And one of America's most terrifying predators was finally brought into the light. Pause. Because no matter how long it takes, the past has a way of catching up.